So this is for my friend Art, and he's somebody we've been friends with for a couple of years. He and the kids really took to each other whenever we were on a train ride to New Jersey from Kansas. So we got on in Newton, Kansas, and somewhere along the way we had breakfast. And on train cars, they need to utilize every seat, and most of the tables seat 4, and we only had 3 in our group, so me and Josie and Jake. And so when we came back to have our breakfast, actually I think it might have been lunch, doesn't matter a whole lot, anyway, to have our meal, they had a fellow sitting at a table and 3 empty spots. So they asked me if it was okay if we sat and joined him, and so we did. So we got into the booth with Art, and after talking for a little while, he said, "I'll be right back," and he brought the kids some little itty stuffed bears and said something about them being from the railroad agency or something. And I think he asked what we were going to name them, and I said, "Well, what's your name?" And he said, "Art," and I said, "Okay, well, we'll name them Art." So after that, we just kind of talked a lot, and we went back to our separate rooms and all, and then the kids wanted to go play on the train, and I said, "Go ahead," because I didn't figure they were going to get in any trouble on the train. And Josephine came back and she said, "I just walked by and I saw Art in his room, and he just looked really lonely sitting in there all by himself. Can I go talk to him?" And I said, "Yes, that's fine. You know, don't go into his room. Just sit there and talk to him outside the door, because the rooms are like the size of a closet anyway." So anyway, she was gone for a little while, and then she came back, and then she was gone for a little while. And at some point, you know, Art came and introduced himself, and we exchanged email addresses. And for the rest of the train ride, he kind of became our guide in helping us make our connections in other towns. Like in Chicago, he knew where to go, and I think at one point he had to head down towards DC as we had to get off in Pennsylvania. So not knowing if we'd ever hear from him again. Anyway, over the next few months, he was emailing us, and we were kind of communicating. He runs some science camps and stuff, or runs some sections of science camps for Camp Carefree for kids who have been ill, and also for kids whose parents have been ill. And he does some sort of speaking for NASA and some things that I probably couldn't explain very well to you. Anyway, since then, that's been almost 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years ago in March that we met Art, and you know, I felt ill for about a whole year of that time too. Anyway, he kept in touch with the kids. And then at some point in this last few months or so, I learned that his wife's family has a company that sells different sauces. I think it was hot sauce might have been their first one. And my understanding is that her team is responsible for inventing honey mustard, which just blows my mind, because honey mustard is a genius idea. And I think it's really, really great that we know the people who got it started. But I didn't think we had Texas Pete products in our area, and so I started checking around, and I found some coupons online for the grocery store that I've been using forever, and they had some Texas Pete coupons, and that was kind of cool. But then one day I was making some food, some Chinese food, and I reached up in my cabinet for some hot sauce, some sriracha sauce, and I looked at the label and it said Texas Pete on it, and I was cracking up because I don't even know what the date is on it. I keep stuff in my cabinet forever. And I couldn't believe that probably even before I met Art, I had products from his wife's family in my cabinet. So I just wanted to show this to Art real quick and kind of give you the background of who Art is, because you'll hear us refer to him quite a bit in our videos, because he's helps us a lot with the science side of things and just getting creative and learning. And anyway, that's the background. And now I'll show you the sauce, because I wanted him to see that this sauce was in my cabinet before I even met him. My cabinets is for sauces and baking and all. So I have some of my baking stuff up here. I also have my overflow of Ziploc bags, because I love Ziploc bags. And then I also have different cooking liquids, I guess is really the best way to put it, because most of this stuff is not the sweet side of things, not for baking. So I've put a couple little cheater bulbs in some of these. But anyway, I was digging through here one day and looking for my chili sauce, and then there I saw this label that I was amazed that it said Texas Pete on it, and I was just very, very happy to see that, because my friend Art, I was using the products his family, or his wife's family, are responsible for, like way before I even knew him. The expiration on this is in April of 1920. I'm sorry, in April of 2020, and I imagine I've probably had this for a couple of years, if not, maybe not quite that long. I buy sriracha quite often, but you never know. Anyway, I have lots of other sauces and stuff in here, and I have to look to see if I have any other Texas Pete, because he sent me some of his products so that I could just get an idea of what they are. Most of them I have over in that other pantry. My pantry, I'm just embarrassed to show you because I always have to put my pickles out. Because it's very disorganized. My house was built in 1886, and these cabinets were put in afterwards. But I have like a pantry that is just a total mess. That is where I keep lots of other things. And I do have Texas Pete sauces up there, but these came straight from Art, so I knew what those were. But I just was surprised, and I wanted to show Art that I had his products in my cabinet and didn't even know it. I wasn't even sure that we could buy them here in Kansas. The labels to be sticking out, so I can always. So I wanted to just thank Art and his wife for having this company and having created honey mustard, which is just amazing. He sent me some bottles that I could try, and there's the label if you ever want to look for it. That free, yay. And he sent me several bottles of the honey mustard. I did give some to family so they could see if they liked it as well. So there's my Texas Pete honey mustard. He sent some hot sauce. So there's a hot sauce and looks like a hotter sauce, maybe Mexican style, and a buffalo wing sauce. Yum! That's too awesome. And the original hot sauce. And let's see, what is this? This is the extra mild wing sauce. Oh, that's something maybe I can get the kids to enjoy. And sent us some seasoning dust. He also sent us some, mild and medium salsa. So we could give a shot. We've already eaten most of the salsa. It's in my refrigerator, so I won't drag that out. But anyway, if you get a chance to try Texas Pete products, do it. I recommend everything I've tried so far. I'm pretty picky about my honey mustard, and this stuff is really good. I love it on chicken strips, and I love cooking with it. I love it on salad, just honey mustard salad. That's really good too. So I just wanted to let you know about it and say thank you to Art. So there you have it. Thanks. Thanks for watching.